And we use an architectural metaphor a lot at Valencia for this conversation. And when you build a building, there's a discipline in architecture for designing that building that has 4 steps. The first step is called architectural program. You don't design anything. You don't draw a building. You don't sketch a floor plan. You discuss in great detail what is it we're going to do in this building and how must it be done. So in this step, the users of the building, who will be there for years to come, are the real experts, not the architect. And the architect's job is to get them to share their expertise on what needs to happen. And once they've done that, they publish a little dissertation on the functions of the building. They still haven't designed a building. They've just described accurately the working theory of the building. Here's what the building must accomplish. Then the architect takes a little bit heavier hand and begins to sketch solutions based on that agreed to architectural program. It's called Schematic Design. They may put forward 3 or 4 or 5 different alternatives. A 3-story building, a 1-story building, massed differently, and so on. And the users interact now with the architect who has expertise in design and sort out which one of these looks most promising, and they decide to go with it. And then they go to the 3rd step, which is called design development. And the architect now, with lots of expertise, has at least equal voice with the users about the many details that are going to go into this building. What sort of floor treatments do we need? How many outlets need to be in this room? What's the positioning of the windows? And all those kinds of issues go into it. And they eventually produce a fairly detailed design. And then you get to the 4th stage, where the users have almost no voice at all, because the 4th stage is an expert stage. It's called construction documents. And the experts, the architects and engineers, draw in great detail what's behind the walls, what makes the building work. And the users of the building have nothing to contribute to that. They don't know building codes, they don't know electricity, they don't know all those issues. That stuff is done by an expert. Now, most places have this exactly backwards. Somebody, usually a senior leader, will hatch an idea. That is, they'll see a problem they want to solve, sketch out a solution, work it out in detail, and then go try to sell it to their followers. And the followers are on the wrong end of the business then. So we flipped that on its head and said, let's use this architectural metaphor. And we use it for a lot of our work. So if we have a tough challenge to solve, a new goal to achieve, a problem that's really vexing for us, we'll gather a lot of people and go through a design process that's highly collaborative. We've even built spaces on campus to have those collaborative discussions that prevent typical committee behavior. And we think some of our best work has come out of that. A recent example is what I think is a brilliant quality enhancement project that focuses on the new student. You'll hear more about that from others. But it's a deeply designed, principled, thoughtful plan to improve student engagement at the very beginning of their experience with us and move the needle on their success. And because we had all the right people there, thinking in terms of systems and collaborating with one another rather than competing for resources or arguing their ideas, we ended up with a design that's integrated, it's sophisticated, it's deep, it's systemic, and we think will change systemic behavior as a result of that. Lots of people talk about systems thinking. They don't know how to implement it in a large organization, and collaboration is the key to that. So while just the name collaboration doesn't sound like a principle, it's been a very important underlying theory of our work at Valencia. And it turns out that while on the front end of collaboration things move a little more slowly, because it takes a long time to get the conversation where it needs to be so you're comfortable moving on to the solution. Over time, if you practice this discipline, people get better and better at it, and trust grows. And when trust grows, speed increases, and the velocity of our work has increased dramatically. Just this past year, we had 2 or 3 crazy curveballs thrown at us by the legislature, including a complete redesign of general education and a total redesign of developmental education. In the old advocacy culture, we'd have been frozen, trying to tweak what we do for 2, 3, 4 years, bitterly complaining but not making much progress. In our collaborative culture, everybody went, wow, okay, now let's get to work, and collaboratively design solutions that we think we can make work at Valencia. If we don't, we'll get back together and re-collaborate. That's the great thing about collaboration. The conversation doesn't have to end. So one of the secrets to Valencia's success over the years, and I think an absolutely essential secret to our future success, is maintaining a culture and a discipline of collaboration, particularly in design.